Welcome to Synchronize Swatches, your twice-monthly dose of coolness. I'm your host, Chris Gregory.
And I'm the other guy, Chip Johnson.
Every other week, we watch an episode of the cult classic 1990s sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and then we record ourselves talking about it.
It's time for Operation Record the Podcast. Are you ready?
I'm walking.
Gentlemen, Synchronize Swatches. Not a problem.
I've never liked you, Lewis.
Not a problem.
Eat now?
Clean out your locker. You're finished.
What did that AWS shit affect you guys at work?
I didn't really notice anything at work, but I did notice, I didn't notice anything besides, our project management software, which is online. We use Trello,
Yeah.
And that was pretty sluggish this morning, but
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't know.
It just sucks, man. Like, I didn't know about it because I wasn't doing anything online really till this.
Yeah.
And I started having problems earlier because I was going to log on and try to, set lighting and stuff. And Dawn said something about I got an error, an AWS error. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And Dawn, she's like, yeah, Canva and all this stuff she uses for work. She's like, that was down. And she talked to some friends of hers and they were like, everybody's doing completely different things, but everybody was affected.
Right.
And I was like, that's the damn downside of us depending on Amazon for every fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like a monoculture. It's like, not only are we dependent on them for every fucking product we buy now, but everything we do online is got to depend on their fucking cloud services. And one thing goes wrong and we're all fucked, man.
Competition is good.
Exactly. I mean, that's my point. Is I need to, we're guilty of throwing money at Amazon too. And I want to extricate myself from that as much as I can. But it's almost impossible. That's the thing. It gets to a point where you can't. Yeah. You can't do it and function. So I don't know. Anyways, rant over.
You could go live in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty damn close to doing that.
Yeah.
That's why I've never read Walden. Because I'm afraid as soon as I do, I'm done. I'm checking out of society.
Yeah.
All right. Rant over. What's been going on with you, man?
Oh, not much. Just doing a lot of, I've got boxes of crap back here. Not crap, but some of this is decoration stuff that I took out for the holidays, and some of it's just where I'm pointing right there. There's a, there it is. Just, it's stuff that's coming into my house that I need to go through and figure out what to keep and what to toss, so.
Yeah.
I got sheets of I've got homework assignments and stuff from third grade in there. So it's
wow.
The kind of thing that you keep when you have kids thinking that one day they'll want them, and then, eventually you give them to them and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I keep some of my kids' stuff, probably a little bit more than they're going to give a shit about. They probably won't give a shit about any of it. It's interesting to look at that stuff 20 years later. Oh, wow, look at that, but then after that, it's I don't know what to do with this,
Yeah.
Unless it's something really special, like a first signature or something, it's
right.
They're interesting little artifacts, but I think they mean more to parents than they do the kids anyway, so.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff there, and then just, so many photo albums. I'm still backing up photos, and
wow.
I've done 1,700 of them, and I've gone through about a dozen books, and I've got 3 times that many sitting over there in a couple of boxes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. My parents took lots of pictures.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a hell of a task to digitize all that shit, man. Good Lord.
Agreed.
Oh,
it's okay,
man.
though.
I can't imagine how many photos my dad has tucked away.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I said that. I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah, because my dad, I don't know if we discussed this on the podcast before or not, but my dad was always, at least when I was really young, he was really up on all the technology with the cameras and the video cameras. And, I remember him having the video camera that had to be plugged into a VCR to film, it didn't have its own internal tape drive. So he just filmed everything of me and my sister growing up. filmed, and he always had a camera on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Slung over his shoulder like a still camera, 35 millimeter. So, God, he took so many pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, and looking back, I mean, I think, at some point when I get a hold of those photos, it'll be great to go through them, but like, it's going to be a massive amount.
Yeah. 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 That's one thing I recall about your dad from when we were younger. Just he always taking pictures of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
always.
Yeah. That's a good segue into the episode because there's lots of dad and mom content in this. A lot of parent content in this episode here.
There is. So let's, it's a good place to dive in.
Imminent danger, sirs.
We are back for season 2.
Season 2.
Swatches. Yeah. Season 2 of Parker Lewis Can't Lose. We made it through a whole freaking season. Incredible.
I know. It's amazing. And an episode of Ferris Bueller.
And an episode of Ferris Bueller, yes. Which, after watching that one, we clearly saw why it only lasted half a season.
Yeah. Yeah. If the pilot is any indication, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Parker Lewis, season 2, yes. Episode 1, title Father Knows Less, which of course is a reference to Father Knows Best. And the German title, Paul, if you will.
Die Toastertherapie.
Which actually translates to toaster therapy, which kind of makes sense after you watch the episode. Yeah, toaster therapy.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, like, did you look at the list of translations he sent?
I saw the translation list for season 1. I've not seen it for season 2 yet.
The thing he sent is updated with all 3 seasons on it.
Okay, so. I missed that. Last time I looked, it was just season 1. Okay.
And when you look at it, scroll to the side because he put a couple of notes in there that I missed the first time.
I did see the notes for season 1.
Okay.
I was reading through those the other day, and some of them are pretty freaking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of them, Radio Free Flamingo, which was in German, Radio Free Flamingo, translated Radio Free Flamingo, and his comment was like, someone went home early that day.
He's funnier than we are.
I know. Gotta get him on the show. Yeah. But I had a laugh reading some of those comments.
Yeah.
Father Knows Less, or Toaster Therapy. Original air date, Sunday, August 11th, 1991. Written by Adam Barr and Peter Ocko. 4th episode, that team writing. They also did Love's a Beast, Jerry's First Date, and My Fair Shelley. Episode was directed by Rob Bowman, which we talked about this previous episode. This is his first episode directing, but he's done a ton of stuff. I think you know him from some Star Trek episodes?
Star Trek stuff, yeah. He did a lot of Star Trek.
Yeah, and I know him from like X-Files, seeing his name on the X-Files episodes. Notable events of this day, Nickelodeon premiered 3 new cartoons on this date: Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. Rugrats, which is an interesting connection because Melanie Chartoff does the voice for, it's the mother? The mother on that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the children too.
Right.
Don't at me if I got that wrong.
But yeah, a bit of a crossover there.
It's 1991 here when those things premiered, and those shows I don't think were for us. We were like 12 or 13 at the time. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Rugrats or Doug, but I've definitely seen a lot of Ren and Stimpy, especially the first season. It was completely off the chain.
Yes. I mean, it was geared towards kids, but it was not geared towards kids. It
was geared towards a specific kind of kid who would grow up to be a specific kind of adult.
Yes. Namely us.
Yeah.
I did love that show, man. It was so fucking twisted, though. God.
Yeah. And it's great to go back and watch, too, at this age, to watch the first season of it,
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's great.
You guys were dangerous dudes, huh?
All right, my episode synopsis. It's time for the annual Marathon of the Mind. Students are tasked with building a toaster from a box full of random parts. One catch, though, they have to do so with a parent or guardian. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? What a strange idea.
It's just a box of random shit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we'll dig into this, but I'm guessing all the students got different boxes of different shit? Like, I don't know. So our opening gag this week, the lights come up and we find ourselves in a living room.
Yeah, my note here was the most 90s looking couch in this living room here.
Oh, totally. And the artwork, too, on the wall behind it.
Yeah.
Very, very nice, too.
Looks like a casting couch. It's really disturbing.
Yes. We see a young woman dressed in a very modest 50s style clothing, sitting on a couch next to Jerry. She leans in towards him, expecting a kiss, it seems. But Jerry doesn't pay any mind to her because he's engrossed in playing his Game Boy. Come on, Jerry. Come on, man. You're so concerned with not being a boy anymore.
Yeah.
So the girl just shakes her head and she turns off the light.
Yeah, to that point, actually, I noticed, the first thing I noticed when this episode opened, I was like, damn, Troy aged a lot over the summer between seasons. He looks, noticeably older. Not noticeably.
He does.
He's definitely older in this shot.
Yeah, it definitely shows. So then the lights come back up and we see the same couch in the same living room, but this time we have a very different young woman. She's dressed in a sexy black dress and high heels. And she's seated next to Frank Limmer, who, of course, screams and recoils from the light. The woman just shakes her head and kills the light by turning off the lamp. The light comes back up again, and yet another girl sits on the couch. She is alone for a moment until Parker Lewis comes flying into frame and lands on the couch. It's quite an effect. Like this, it's almost like somebody threw him in.
Yeah, Larry threw him in there.
Camera. The girl smiles, and Parker kills the lights with a remote that he has in his hand. The lights come up one last time, and we see another woman sitting on the couch next to Larry Kubiak. At first, they're on opposite ends, but then they both shyly slide towards each other, meeting in the middle. As Koob slowly and slyly tries to put his arm around the girl, you guessed it, the couch collapses under their enormous weight. So horrible.
Yeah. Poor couch. Rest in peace, couch.
Yes. We open in a hallway in Santo Domingo High. Frank Limmer barks out, "Smiles, everyone, smiles!" VIF coming through. Very important flamingo. Make way. And he does this little clap kind of thing.
Yes.
Fucking ass. And in walks Miss Musso with Jack Tompkins, played by the great Martin Mull.
Martin Mull, who I think I probably best know him when I was a kid as Leon Karp in Roseanne. Like that's the first thing. That and Clueless. He played Colonel Mustard in the 1985 film Clue. Did I just say Clueless?
You did.
Clue.
I was going to call you out for that.
He might have been in Clueless also. You don't know. I'll go look at his IMDb and I'll put it on there.
Yeah.
He played Colonel Mustard, and just so I don't look like an idiot on my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. You could probably put it on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Yeah. But he also has he also has a huge he had a very long career. No longer with us, unfortunately, but very funny man. Excellent in this role. This is basically like what I expect from Martin Mull in a sitcom role.
Yes. He's in so many things. Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
I watched some of it, yeah.
He played like that private eye that was always like hiding his different inanimate objects, and he would like pop up. That was I remember that too. But yeah, Clue is definitely like that's where I originally know him from. Fucking Clue
and Clueless.
Nice. So Parker tells us in VO that Jack is the corporate sponsor of the Santo Domingo Marathon of the Mind. We cut to a stage on the quad where Tompkins stands in front of a stack of very colorful boxes. They're like oversized shoe boxes.
Yeah.
Presenting this year's challenge for the Marathon of the Mind.
Toast! The final frontier. Your mission to build a bread toasting machine using only the materials in these boxes.
Yeah, I like that he calls it a bread toasting machine instead of just calling it a fucking toaster. It's just a bread toasting machine.
Oh, man. We dolly through a very unenthusiastic crowd to find Parker and his buds in their normal lounge chairs eating their requisite fruit.
Yeah, the fruit's back.
Yeah. In VO, Parker tells us the last time he got this excited about a contest, it involved Donna Sue Horton, a slinky, and a stopwatch. And I'm like, what kind of kinky shit is that?
Yeah. I like that we got a Donna Sue Horton reference, but yeah, I got to know what's up with the fucking slinky and the stopwatch.
Yeah, I can't even... Yeah.
What is that?
My imagination isn't even fertile enough to figure out what that is.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the thing about the fruit too, because I made a note that like everybody is sitting around like a normal assembly or whatever, but those guys are in their fucking lounge chairs in the crowd.
They own the joint.
Yep.
Miss Musso informs us that the contest requires all the students to team up with a parent or guardian. And we get a little dialogue here that establishes Mikey's dad has been MIA for the past 6 months, so he'll have to team up with his mom. Yeah, this is like, I'd say maybe the second time we've even referenced his parents. The one time being they were fake actors hired by Parker to act as his parents.
Yeah.
And then there was a second set of parents that showed up because Shelley called them, and we don't know if they were actors too, or maybe they were the real ones. But anyways, we don't really know much about Mikey's parents. But apparently now they're divorced, or they're separated, or his dad went out for cigarettes.
Cigarettes and milk.
So we cut to Coob sitting in the hallway trying to, I love this, he's trying to pry open his box of parts with his shoe. And we tilt up to find the buds walking by with their respective boxes, and Mikey is inspecting the contents of his. At one point he drops a box of toothpicks, and Jerry Rain Mans the hell out of them for some reason. 364 or 346, definitely 4 short, Mr. Randall, definitely 4 short. And this is kind of odd because it never comes back into play. I guess it's just a joke on him being super fucking smart or something.
Yeah, it's really strange to see a Rain Man joke now too, since they don't, the movie's so old now that they don't make a lot of Rain Man jokes anymore. You know? It's very. I think if you were watching that with modern eyes, it'd be like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So then attention is diverted as we hear a yee-haw from down the hall, and we see a tragically 90s kid skating down the hallway.
Good description.
Parker introduces or intros. Choose one or the other, Chip. Jesus Christ.
You can do both. Go on. The
Parker,
intro, deuces.
Yeah. Parker intros him in VO. Paulie Bennett, part-time hall hazer, full-time Mikey Randall wannabe.
Yeah, and Paulie's played by Chris Dimitral. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I feel like I say that every single time I say somebody's name. Like, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
so
I know.
If it's not, my apologies. But yeah, he was in. He played Jeremy Tupper in Dream On for 118 episodes. Do you remember that show?
Dream
that
On.
show?
Yes, that's one I need to revisit because it's been ages since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's probably been 30 years since I watched that show. But I guess he was in The Secret Adventures of Jules Verne as well in the year 2000, playing Jules Verne. And then the one thing I recognized him from was there's, as usual, there's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation he's in where he's I guess it's not a spoiler for a show that came out in 1990 to say that he's playing this alien that appears as a child. Yeah, and he kind of tries to trap Riker on this planet to be his play pal or whatever, because he keeps
I remember that one.
Yeah, like Riker wakes up and it's the future, and this is his son, John Luke, which is just cringy as hell.
Yes, it is.
After the captain. Yeah, it's funny. My favorite thing about that episode is at the very end, when the whole charade is over, and the kid reveals his actual appearance, the alien appearance or whatever. He tells Riker his real name, which I can't remember, and Riker looks at him and he says, "To me, you'll always be John Luke." I always thought it'd be funny to be like, "No, dude, that's not my name. That's not my name. Don't call me that."
Oh, God.
Harsh. Anyway.
So anyways, Paulie skates underneath someone's legs, and maybe it's Coob's legs? I couldn't tell. Somebody's very tall.
Yeah.
But he skates underneath and comes up to a stop in front of the buds where he says, "Killer sortie, eh, Randall?" So stupid.
Thirsty as fuck, man. Look at me, Mikey.
Oh, God. So Mikey, he does not seem impressed, and eventually Paulie leaves. Parker tells us VO that Mikey and Paulie have had this big brother-type relationship ever since they met in detention 3 years ago. Now, what was 3 years ago? Were they both in middle school at that time?
Yeah.
Or
I put one of the notes just I had randomly in here is like, do you think the school year has moved forward at all in between seasons or what? Because
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
There's like no comment on it being the first day of school. Nothing seems to have changed except Jerry looks a little older. That's it.
I don't. Maybe they're trying to make it still their same year.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Because I feel like they would have made a big deal, like, "Oh, I'm a junior now," or "I'm a senior now." Like it would have been something like that. So I think you're right. I think we're still in the same school year as season one. That's the way I took it.
Okay.
But I did when I first started watching. I'm like, wait a minute, is this the next season and next school year or not? Couldn't tell. But
So
I don't
must
think
have
it
been
is.
It must have been middle school then. Like
Yeah.
Mikey was in 8th grade or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe Paulie was in 6th, because I can't imagine Paulie's in the same grade as these guys, right?
No, doesn't he? Because he had a. I mean, you mentioned it here, but I mean, Jerry had a run-in with him or something. So I would assume he's a freshman. You know.
Right. He's yeah, exactly. So Parker then tells Jerry that the coast is clear and he can come back now because Paulie is gone. And we whip up to the ceiling to find Jerry hanging there, hanging from the fucking ceiling.
Shot. Like he's like fucking Spider-Man up there.
Yeah, totally. So Jerry nods and he drops down from the ceiling. He says,
"He stole my family ties lunchbox in 3rd grade, sirs. A Steiner doesn't make the same mistake twice."
Family ties lunchbox. That's awesome.
I know, that's great. At this point, Shelley walks up and tells Parker that if he does his project with Dad, she'll have to work with Mom. This is bad because the last time Mrs. Lewis picked up a tool, the neighbors didn't have lights for a week. And Parker just says, "My heart bleeds." And Shelley walks off and says, "It will. It will."
Fucking sinister, man.
I know. She has a bit of a smile, too, so she's definitely up to no good.
Yeah.
We cut to a fancy cappuccino machine in Miss Musso's office. Grace has just finished steaming a cup of Java, and she serves it to Jack Tompkins. We learn that they've known each other for a number of years, since he was just a worker on the assembly line and she a mere guidance counselor.
Yeah, I was trying to imagine what it would have been like to have Miss Musso as your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
You know, it's always yelling at you or coming on to you.
Yeah. No in between.
No in between at all.
Yeah.
She's angry and horny.
But now Tompkins is a CEO and she is a principal. And she says something about, she's very happy in her position, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Tompkins then asks Grace if she'd like to get the hell out of this dead-end job. And Miss Musso leaps over the desk and asks to hear more.
She launches herself over that desk. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. This whole scene is great, actually.
Yeah.
The back and forth with her and Martin Mull is great. And his deliveries on these lines are stellar.
Yeah.
Especially near the end of the episode, I point one out. But in the background, we can hear the steamer on the cappuccino machine building up. As Tompkins tells her about the position that has opened up at Langdon Industries, Miss Musso is getting hot. So much so that the cappuccino machine pops a gasket. Because as
Metaphor.
Because as we've established numerous times before, her energy can affect inanimate objects in her vicinity. So Tompkins lays out the deets. A 6-figure salary, corner office, company car. Miss Musso is just getting hotter and hotter, and the room is filling up with steam from the cappuccino machine.
Actually, to the point we made just a little while ago, it only seems to happen when she's either angry or just getting aroused.
Yes, exactly.
That's when she projects her heat.
And Tompkins tells her that the board is made up entirely of men, and he hopes that won't be a problem for her. My note was, "Are you fucking kidding? This is Grace Musso. She's already daydreaming about the hunky Chippendales dancers attending her every need in the corner office."
Yeah, that cut to her fantasy I laughed out loud when I saw it. It was
so good.
It's so Musso. It is so funny. There's just like these 5 shirtless hunks just attending to her. It's so funny.
One guy's massaging her. One guy's like fanning her. Like, I don't know what the other guy is, like doing her nails or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's great. As we cut back to reality, and I use reality, that term loosely, in Miss Musso's office, the steam is so thick it has fogged Tompkins' glasses. And then the cappuccino machine finally explodes. And we cut to outside Miss Musso's office where we see the door glass explode. I mean, this one's a hell of an explosion, too, because it's just like a shotgun just straight out of glass shards.
Practically orgasmic, you might say.
Yes. Biggest explosion yet.
Don't say it like that.
Miss Musso and Tompkins exit completely damp. And Miss Musso says she'll take the job.
Yeah. The note that I made here was I was wondering, we can discuss this. Do you think the steam in the machine blow out of the window? Do you think the blowing out of the window was from the machine, or do you think it was purely her unsatisfied sexual desires? Because that's how I started to read it at some point,
I think it's her. I don't think it's the machine.
Yeah.
I think the machine explodes, but in addition, that's not what caused the window to break.
Yeah. The machine explodes because of those as well.
Yes, exactly. She just explodes everything in the nearby radius.
Yeah, Tompkins is lucky he got out with his life.
Yes. I'm surprised his glasses aren't shattered.
Yeah, into his eyes.
Shards of glass in his eyeballs.
I'm blind.
So, yeah, Miss Musa says she'll take the job. Tompkins says, not so fast. He needs to observe her in operation before making the final call.
Well, of course, I'll have to watch you in operation before we can commit, just to make sure you're a Langdon Industries kind of person. Ruthless, ambitious, and unmerciful.
I'm ice.
But with a touch of compassion.
Warm ice.
Warm ice. Silly.
We get a little scene in the hallway where Mikey's mom comes up and tells him that she can't help out with the project. She's very sorry, but she has to work double shifts all week.
Yeah, Mikey's mom here, played by Sherry Rooney.
Yeah.
I can't ever read the name Rooney without going, Rooney, you're an asshole. Anyway. So I guess she's most well known for playing Gail Caldwell in Search for Tomorrow, which I think that might be a soap opera, maybe.
Oh,
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not either, actually.
Yeah, something from the 70s, so
gotcha.
mid-70s.
So Mikey gets worked up really quickly.
Yes, he does.
I'd say unfairly quick.
Yeah.
His mom says, "Look, I'm not just doing this for me, you know." And Mikey throws a tantrum and storms off, and he tosses his box in the trash as he leaves.
Yeah, and he says, "I'm walking."
I'm walking.
Which I only clocked because he says it a couple of times. It's just, I'm walking.
Yeah,
it's great.
Oh, Mikey,
tantrumy greaser. I'm walking
exactly.
over here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, let's throw to Doug again.
Yeah. Back from commercial, we get a weird POV. We see a young Mr. and Mrs. Lewis trying to feed baby food to the camera. On the turnaround, we see it's a baby Parker, and baby Parker is not having it.
No, he's not.
Then after cutting back to the parents once again, we cut back to find Parker is no longer a baby, but a teenager in a fucking bib. It's fucking Corin Nemec in a bib. It's very weird looking. But he's still not having it. He's still not eating the baby food. It kind of looks like yogurt, though.
Yeah.
In VO, he says, let's face it, you spend your whole childhood with your parents 24 hours a day, which is weird because you don't really spend 20. I know.
Yeah.
I'd push back on that statement a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, he says, question, who wants to spend another week with them making toast?
I just wanted to point out that in the previous scene where they're trying to feed the baby and baby Parker, I love Timothy Stack's like open collar, and he's got like the necklace hanging down.
He's got the chain. He's got like a chain 70s, necklace.
Yeah, it's cool as shit. Like that guy was cool in high school, I can tell.
Yeah. Then we cut to the Atlas Diner. This is the first appearance here, which actually we don't get an exterior established. I think that's probably still a few episodes away.
Yeah.
But this diner is definitely something that we see a lot in season 2 and season 3, actually. And we see Parker sitting in a booth, staring at a not so curly fry. It's a pretty sad looking curly fry. And he finishes his VO. Answer: just about everybody. We get a mini montage of students with their parents working on their toaster projects. Jerry and his dad, Coob and his dad, and, well, that's it. Not sure if that's even like a mini montage. I don't know why they couldn't come up with a third one, man. Like, rule of third, guys. Come on. Jesus.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, too. Like, at first I thought they had cast the same actor to play Coob's dad, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They got somebody who looked a lot like him. You know?
Yes, they did. And I love in the Coob vignette, though, apparently he still hasn't been able to open that box because he's taken a welding torch to it now.
It seems safe.
Yes. So then Mikey comes in and sits across from Parker. Bogus Maximus, he says. Very 90s.
Very 90s.
Parker asks if he wants to talk about it, and Mikey says no. Then we hear Paulie yell to Mikey to check it out as he snatches the waitress's hat from her and plays keep away. I mean, this guy's quite a little douchebag, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in total 90s gear too. He's got the little pop brim on his cap and everything, you know?
Yep.
It's like, damn, they don't come much more 1991 than this.
No, Paulie is so 90s, man. Like,
but you're right, he is a dickhead.
Yes. I mean, I can't tell. Is he a dickhead, or is he just like insanely immature? Because I mean, he's playing keep away with this woman's hat. You know,
he's super immature, and he's trying to impress his little idol there.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah. So Mikey approaches and he demands the hat. Paulie finally hands it over, and Mikey puts it back on the waitress's head. She rewards him with a kiss on the cheek, of course, because it's Mikey.
Yeah, that's how you do it, kid.
Yeah. And Parker comments on how no one could take Mikey's coolness away. Then we hear a voice say, "Michael Patrick Randall?" And Parker adds, "Except mommy." And Mikey spins to see his mom, and he shrinks down to a child in front of her, literally.
Yeah.
It's a nice gag, too, because we're like tight, you know, kind of on a close-up on Mikey, and he just drops out of frame, and there's a split second before the camera tilts down to find a kid.
Yeah.
Dressed just like Mikey with a freaking, you know, earring and everything, and the hairstyle. But anyways, his mom berates him for not having the car home by 3. She tells him he won't be able to borrow it again tonight. Mikey's like, "Fine, I'll just thumb it." And his mom says, "Oh, no, you won't." And he's like, "Oh, no, I will." And she's like, "Oh, no, you won't." There's like a lot of back and forth about this shit.
Yeah.
And then Mikey storms off once again.
He's walking over here.
I'm walking.
I oughta.
So, cutting to the Lewis household, we see Marty with all the parts for the toaster project. All the parts for the toaster project scattered across the living room. Parker tries to pitch his idea about a centrifugal drive plan, but his dad ignores it and instead rolls out these humongous blueprints. I mean, they're like freaking, they stretch across the whole freaking living room.
Saying he rolls them out as an apt description. I mean, I love that. That he's got these massive plans. Such a tinkering dad thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
He's got all this shit everywhere with all these massive plans.
And the amount of junk that's in the living room that supposedly came out of that box, it's like, is that some magical box? Because all that shit would not have fit in that little shoebox.
I think some of that came from Marty's garage.
Yeah.
It's like, I know exactly what I can use with this.
Yeah. You're only supposed to use what's in the box, Marty.
To hell with that.
Anyways, as Marty drones on, Parker nearly falls asleep, but he is jolted awake by Shelley, who tells him to cheer up. And she secretly steals Parker's plans for the centrifugal drive and takes them and pitches it to her mom. Her mom thinks it's an excellent plan and suggests a cookie break.
Yeah, I love the cookie break. That's all I had for a note. Hey, cool, a cookie break.
Yeah. And it's a great gag, too, because she just, you know, Mrs. Lewis just reaches right off screen and instantly comes back with a freaking pot holder on her hand, you know, like the oven mitt or whatever, on her hand, holding the steaming thing of cookies. It's a great little gag. We cut to the school. Tompkins walks with Miss Musso and tells her they are looking for someone that's ruthless, brutal, a savage disciplinarian with a touch of compassion. It's kind of weird because it's like he's already told us this, but
yeah.
Yeah. So Miss Musso assures him that that's her philosophy exactly. She then spots Polly slamming some kid up against a locker.
Yeah.
"Freeze, creep!" she yells. And Mikey jumps in and asks Miss Musso if he can talk to him.
Yeah, that
normally
describing that as slamming the kid against the locker is like very generous. He's barely doing anything to hold that kid against the locker. It's not very aggressive at all.
Yeah. But he's like shaking him down or something. I don't know what Paulie's doing. But yeah, anyways, Miss Musso yells, "Freeze, creep!" And Mikey jumps in and is like, you know, kind of begs Miss Musso to let him take care of it. It's a friend of his.
Yeah.
Normally, Miss Musso would have their heads, but as she recalls the touch of compassion comment, you actually hear Martin Mull say that, like, in, you know, echoing in her head. She changes her tune. She grants Mikey's wish, but tells them if this happens again, they'll spend the rest of their school careers cleaning spit out of band instruments. Ugh, that's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Paulie thanks Mikey for saving his butt, but Mikey pulls him into a classroom and shoves him up against the wall.
Yeah.
Kind of like Paulie was doing with his other kid, honestly.
That's an actual shove.
Yeah. He definitely shoves Paulie, but it's like essentially he's holding Paulie up against the wall just like Paulie was doing to the kid. And my note was here. I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Yeah. How many people out there recognize that reference?
Yeah. So anyways, Mikey threatens him not to do it again or he'll pound him back into elementary school. So violent.
Jesus.
Back in Miss Musso's office, we see Polly Bennett's file slammed down in the foreground, and Parker sits in the background peering over it. Musso and Parker make a deal. Parker will keep Polly out of her hair and from endangering her job opportunity if she allows Mikey and Polly to do their toaster project together. We cut to a classroom where Mikey and Polly are working together on a guitar-based toaster.
Guitar-based toaster. Yeah, I made a note here that this, in the background of this whole scene, you can hear that song from, I always recognize it from Looney Tunes or whatever, that song Powerhouse, that dun 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 bam bam bam.
Yes. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's great.
Like burned into our childhood memories, man. It's just anytime there's like any kind of scene of industry, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They have that tune. Yeah, so anyways, Mikey and Polly are hard at work. And it's, I call it a guitar-based toaster because like there's like a Spanish guitar like under all the shit that they've built up.
Yeah.
I don't know why they built it on top of a guitar, but whatever.
Yeah.
And Parker watches on satisfied. Like a good little matchmaker. And then we get an actual montage this time where we pan left to right across various scenes. First we see Jerry and his dad toiling away in a sterile white room building their super toaster, and they've got like, you know, the masks on and like rubber gloves and all this stuff, and they're building, it looks like a supercomputer or something they're building, like it's very high tech.
Very Jerry.
And so we pan across that little vignette, and we come to see Shelley and Mrs. Lewis. They're rocking out to some music, like drumming with some I don't know what they're drumming with, but like drumming on all the fucking materials and stuff, just having a good old time.
I should mention here, too, I forgot to mention it earlier, that Mrs. Lewis has been recast for the second season. She's being played by Mary Ellen Trainor, who I believe played her in the pilot episode.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so, yes, I think she's on for the rest of the series.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so my mistake. I should have said that earlier.
So after we see Shelley and Mrs. Lewis having a grand old time, we see Parker sitting on the couch, bored as hell, while his dad still blabs away about the plan. We pan across that, and we find Kubiak and his dad, and they're pulling out huge power tools to work on their project deep inside bathroom 12. I mean, you can still see the stalls out there, and you actually see his pizza pan, you know, his different size pizza pans hanging up on the stall walls, some toilets in the background, and we pan across that and find Frank Limmer and his poorly cast dad, I might say. I just feel like that guy was not a good cast for Frank's dad.
Yeah, I think they could have done better. They could have found somebody better.
I just, I don't know why. I was like, that felt really flat. So they're up in an attic or something. I don't know where the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And they're playing with a bunch of knives. And there's a little gag here where Frank reaches off screen to his right, I guess, because we pan from the left, and he pulls Larry Kubiak's big blue box onto his desk, and then Kubiak steps into frame, growls, and takes it back.
Yeah. I was going to point, you can cut this if you want, but at this point, as we got to this point of the episode, watching Parker and his dad, watching Marty go at it, it really started to remind me of your dad.
Yes. Totally. 100%.
Okay. Like I said, cut it if you want to, but like, that was just like the first thing I thought was like, I wrote it down, I was like, boy, Marty really reminds me of Chip's dad.
Yes. No, it's 100% my dad.
Yeah, with the tinkering and the, you know, the plans and all that stuff. It's just
and over-explaining everything.
He was giving Don Johnson.
Yeah. It's to a T. And then me sitting on the couch like Parker, just like, oh, fuck, when's he going to be done? Like I get it at this point, Dad. Let's just do the damn thing. I love my dad, but man, he can go on. And he can get in the weeds, too.
Yeah.
No, I'll leave that in. You hit the nail on the head with that one, Chris. Yeah. So back at school, Parker checks in on Mikey and Paulie, and this time he finds out that things are not going so well. Mikey accuses Paulie of lying, mouthing off, stealing, and coming in late. He's like, I'm not doing this for myself, you know, he says. Sounding awfully familiar, Mikey. So this whole exchange of words between Mikey and Paulie is definitely a parent son type of thing going on here,
Yeah.
and Mikey's obviously stepping into the parent role obliviously.
Yeah.
Yet, unable to cope, Mikey storms off yet again. And Paulie chucks the fucking toaster out in the hallway. I mean, he just fucking throws, because like I think Parker like walks out into the hallway, and as soon as he's out in the hallway, we see this thing just roaring through frame, and it just hits the fucking lockers, and it like there's a fucking explosion too. Like, it's violent.
Yeah. And that's the note I made there was just once again, Mikey's walking.
Yep. I'm walking.
I think he actually says it here again. I'm walking.
He does. A
lot of walking in this episode.
Calm down, Mikey. Calm down.
Yeah.
Next, we see Mikey playing guitar up on the roof of the school, as he is wont to do when things aren't going his way.
Yeah. That scene made me about as nervous as it did the last time he was up there when he was swinging the guitar over his head on the roof. That always makes me very uncomfortable to see people that close to edges. Makes my palms
you had that
sweat.
phobia, Chris.
Oh yeah, I don't like heights, man. It makes my fucking palms sweat. I'm just like, oh geez.
God, that's funny.
Careful, Mikey.
Take a step back for me, Mikey. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. You don't feel the force pulling you over the side like I do every time I'm up high. Like, go on, it won't hurt. Just jump. Fuck you, gravity.
Oh man, that's great. I had no clue.
Yep.
So out on the quad, we see Miss Musso approaching Parker, and she asks if the Polly scheme is going as planned. Parker assures her that it is, just as we see Polly enter the background behind Miss Musso, and he steals a ladder out from under a student who is trying to hang a banner. That little dickhead.
He
just walks off with it.
Walks away with it.
And the guy's like just hanging there from the fucking banner. Screaming.
Banner. Yeah.
So Parker tells her that your savage obedience policy, tempered, of course, with a touch of compassion, has put him right where he belongs. Now, he says this loudly, of course, for Tompkins to overhear.
Yeah.
Because Tompkins is in the background.
Yeah.
And Tompkins does hear this, and he is very pleased with Miss Musso.
Yeah.
We cut to the diner where Parker and Jerry try to cheer Mikey up, but Mikey's not having it.
Yeah, and I think Jerry, doesn't he start crying immediately?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Mikey rejects his attempt. He's just like, the fucking tears dribbling down his cheek immediately.
It's like a stream of tears, like instantly as soon as Mikey just shuts him down. Yeah.
And then it disappears.
Yeah.
As soon as he sits down.
Well, part of Jerry's like attempt was like the one-man band thing. Like he had an accordion, he had the fucking drum on his back and the cymbals in his knees, you know? And he's like playing some tune, and Mikey shuts him down, and like just the instant tear, and then like
crying immediately.
And then as soon as he just kind of rockets over to the booth and sits down next to Parker, all that shit's gone.
Yeah. It's a quick response. He's getting better at managing his emotions.
Yes. He shut that shit down quick. He's older. He's grown.
That's right.
Between seasons. Then Jerry's cell phone rings, and his jacket's answering machine takes a message for him. And I love this because it's like, "Hi, this is Jerry. I'm away from my coat right now, but if you leave a message..."
Yeah.
So we actually hear his dad leaving a message, and apparently shit's hit the fan back home with the toaster. Jerry stands up quickly, but then sits back down because he says he's going to stay for Mikey's sake. But Mikey tells him to go. Your dad needs you. So Jerry whips out his cell phone and calls home and says,
"Big Bird, this is Baby Bird. I'm on my way."
So
Baby
cute.
Bird. Jesus. So he rockets out of frame as he is wont to do. And I think that he puts on some, like, what is that heat resistant...
a rocket pack and a helmet or some shit.
Yeah, like some kind of heat resistant helmet, whatever that thing is.
Yeah. Hey,
as he rockets away.
I just thought of something. Wasn't the last episode of last season, wasn't that the last day of school? Now that I think about it, wasn't that the whole thing that like...
You are correct, sir.
So... maybe this takes place during the same school year or something, or maybe we're like into the next school year. I don't know. It just occurred to me. I remember it being the last day of school in that episode. So
you are 100% correct. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
So this is
explain yourself, people.
Yes.
Maybe this is a redo. It's just like we're gonna go back and do 11th grade again. Nothing that happened before happened at all.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, so Parker asks Mikey to tell him what he's going through. Mikey says he can't know. He's got the good home life thing going, the whole fantasy, And Mikey's all down on himself for having a shitty home life.
Yeah.
Parker tells him, yeah, it's not great, but it could be a lot worse. People, there's people way worse off than he is. And he's got a lot going for him around here. Buds, babes, tunes, curly fries.
Curly fries. Yeah. I just made a note here because, like, I just feel like Mikey needs to learn how to deal with his bullshit, man.
Yes.
Like, he always, like, not always, but, like, these particular types of episodes, it's always just, like, Parker trying to, like, pull him up, and he just always dumps on him, and he's, you know, he goes off on him about, like, his happy home life or whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. It's understandable, but it's just like, man, this dude needs to learn how to deal with his shit, a little bit better instead of taking it out on his friends.
Yeah, Mikey's he's got some room to grow for sure. So the phone rings, like the payphone over in the corner, and as Parker takes a call from his dad, Mikey looks up to the TV mounted in the corner, and we see a spoof of the Dick Van Dyke Show called, and the show's actually called Hi Honey, I'm Home, starring the Lewises and Eddie Haskell himself, for some reason.
Yeah, our old buddy Ken Osmond's here to play Eddie Haskell. A role he played in Leave It to Beaver from 1957 to 1963, and the new Leave It to Beaver,
of course,
1983 to 1989, and I guess he played Eddie Haskell Sr. in Leave It to Beaver in 1997. I don't know. That might have been a movie. I don't know.
That was a movie, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, of course, Eddie Haskell on tons of shows like this where he's spoofing himself.
Yeah. And then also Eddie Haskell everywhere else.
Yes. Like,
he's so good at it.
It's funny. I just hearing you read that off now. The new Leave It to Beaver. You said it ran from 83 to 89.
Yeah, I think it
Holy
actually
shit!
ran.
It ran that many seasons.
Yeah.
I thought it was like one of those things where they rebooted and it's like, oh, it lasted like one season, maybe two, and it was just like gone.
Yeah. So
that's a long time.
I mean, on here, he's credited with 96 episodes of the original Leave It to Beaver, and he's credited with 101 episodes of the new one. So
holy shit.
I don't know if there were more overall episodes of the new one, or if he was just in more of those than the original, but yeah.
That's crazy.
The show was on a while.
I'm actually kind of impressed. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And then, so my note here was, upon further digging, there was actually a show called Hi Honey, I'm Home between like 90 and 92. It ran for like 2 seasons, I think, is what I looked up, where a 50s TV family was plopped down in the 90s. And I think they're called the Nielsen's or something as a reference to the Nielsen ratings and all this shit. So it's it's definitely playing on that 50s versus the 90s kind of thing. I never saw this show. Yeah. And it was only through this that I kind of stumbled across it. So maybe they're referencing it. It's weird that they actually use the exact same name though.
Yeah.
It's just a very odd thing.
It's a show from the 90s.
Yeah, it's like it was like on NBC apparently or something. And it ran for like, I think 2 seasons. So it was like 90 and 91 or 91 and 92. So it was like contemporaneous with this episode.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it would have been, I guess, it would have aired enough that these guys would have seen it. Yeah. And could have spoofed it. Really strange. Really strange.
I would watch a show called Honey, I'm Home starring Timothy Stack in this role. Actually, all these characters. This is so fucking, it was 100%.
Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, it was just a weird little like rabbit hole I went down for a minute there, looking up. I can't remember how I was looking at the IMDb for this episode. Then I saw something about Hi Honey, I'm Home, and I was like, oh, that was the spoof show. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a real show. What the fuck? Like I was just, and I just went down this rabbit hole. Anyway, so we get this saccharine little TV family moment as we have a very brief conflict and very brief resolution. I think like Shelley calls Parker a frog or something, or says something like keeping the frog instead of Parker. I don't know, some bullshit like that. Yeah. And then, and then mom's like, kiss and make up, instantly. Like, so anyways.
The performance there from everybody is also really good.
So good.
It's great.
Yeah, it's so arch and so, it's so good. To really rub salt in Mikey's wounds, the show ends with Marty Lewis saying, it sure is nice to have a functional nuclear family.
That's great.
As Parker finishes his call with his dad, he returns to the booth to find that Mikey is gone. We cut to Parker Central, and we see Parker reviewing footage of Mikey with Paulie and Mikey with his mom. He's hatching a plan, of course. We cut to an establishing shot of it looks like L.A.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time we've ever had like a shot like that, you know, like a wide city shot. Because usually the establisher is wherever they're at, you know, that location. Yeah. I just found it kind of strange and out of the blue. I don't know. Yeah. Did it strike you weird? But just seeing that shot in there?
Yeah.
No?
It is. It is strange because they don't do a lot of shots like that. In big open spaces on this show, you know, it's a lot of interior or, you know, the quad or whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah. It's like an establisher of the school exterior or the Mondo Video or, you know, stuff like that. Or if they're in, you know, some other location, just the building itself or whatever. But to have like a full on established shot of the city and it being Los Angeles, because granted, Santo Domingo is somewhere in the valley, supposedly, right? So, it's not completely far removed, but it seemed out of place to me. I don't know why. I don't know. It just bothered me. Anyways, over this shot of LA, we hear a bluesy guitar playing, and we then see Mikey atop yet another roof. This time, I think it's a parking garage, and he's playing his Strat. Yeah,
I always like it when they just let him play the guitar on the show. You know, they let Billy Jane go at it because he gets a nice extended cut here of him just playing the guitar, which is nice to listen to, you know, and watch, you know, because he's actually playing it.
Exactly. And he's you know, sitting on his Harley or whatever, just playing the Strat. Yeah. And on a blank wall behind him, a projection starts and it catches his attention. It's a doctor cut.
I'm sorry, how weirded out would you be by this whole fucking sequence? I'll let you continue describing it, and then we can talk about that if you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's like there's a blank wall. We see the shot. He's playing guitar, and behind him on the wall, this projection starts, and it actually has his name like in text, and you hear this creepy voice like Mikey.
Yeah, it's like whispering. Imagine you're by yourself playing guitar in a parking garage, and you hear your name being whispered to you. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and I think he stops playing. And he's like, oh, whatever. And he starts playing again. And then it like the text gets bigger. It says Mikey again. And the voice gets louder. Mikey. And he like turns. And then it says, you know, it does this cheesy little like letter U, R-U, and then a picture of a stopwatch, ING, you know, and like Mikey kind of deciphers it. Are you watching?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And then this movie starts. And it's like a doctored cut of the video that you know Parker was obviously working on in Parker Central earlier, and it shows two Mikeys talking to one another. One Mikey is from the mom convo, and one Mikey is from the Paulie convo. And so watching this not so subtle film, it dawns on Mikey that he's been a real turd.
I like how you're throwing shade in your notes. This not so subtle film, Parker. Work on your craft.
Yeah, and so we cut to but no, Pike. I mean, but Mikey gets it. He's like, okay, message received, you know, and I think, you know, Parker puts coolness up on the screen or something.
He's like, message received, no more walking. Yeah, I'm not walking.
I'm not walking. I'm staying.
I'm standing still.
Oh man, but anyway, so but no, you're right. It'd be pretty fucking creepy. Yeah. But again, if Parker Lewis is your friend, you're gonna expect crazy shit like that.
That's true. He's been on the other side of this a number of times.
Yeah.
Creeping out other people with videos. Mikey. Donna Sue. Open your window,
exactly.
Donna
I'm sure they pulled it I was gonna say. So anyways, we cut to the Parker household. Marty is still toiling away, and Mrs. Lewis and Shelley come walking through. Parker asks how they are done with their project already, and they tell him teamwork. He says, is it too late to switch partners? Which obviously it is. But Mrs. Lewis tells Parker that he'll stand around forever waiting for his father to change. As they leave, Parker turns back to his dad and says in VO,
I guess she's right. I mean, he's my dad. The same guy who saved my turtle when Shelley flushed him in 3rd grade. The same guy who took me camping when Sarah Conklin dumped me. The same guy who stayed up with me all night when Grandma died. I guess the only perfect fathers are in your dreams. Or on Nick at Night.
Hey, Park! I took your idea. I made a few improvements. I think you're gonna like it.
So then we cut to the gymnasium for the big Marathon of the Mind event. We get various shots of everyone's completed or incomplete. Completed or incomplete toasters. I don't know why I wrote uncompleted.
Uncompleted bread toasting devices.
Yes, there you go. And I love that Kubiak never got the box open.
Yeah.
So he just lit the damn thing on fire and holds bread over top of it.
Just like the caveman that he is.
Yes. And his dad's got like a little skewer with a hot dog on it, I think, over the fire too.
A huge fucking hot dog.
Yes.
Yeah, I also like how like Jerry and his dad made a great assembly line machine for making sandwiches, like full-on sandwiches. None of those fucking things are toasted. They failed.
No, I know, exactly.
They're just sandwiches.
You get enough. Yeah. Great fucking sandwiches, but they're not toasted.
Yeah. Put some heat on these things, Jerry and Jerry's dad.
Oh man, yeah, it's there's some good little visual gags throughout that whole montage. So after that, we see Mikey and Paulie using their guitar-based toaster in good spirits now, and Mikey's mom walks up. Mikey's surprised to see her. He says, "What about work?" She just says, "What about it?" And she smiles.
She was fired.
Yeah. I got all the time in the world now, Mikey. Plus, we got to sell the house.
It's all for you. I need to make you big and strong so you can go work.
Yes. So then we cut to Tompkins and Miss Musso at the mic on stage, about to announce the winner of the contest. But first, Tompkins says,
Grace, you must be very excited. An opportunity like this comes along maybe once in a lifetime. Too bad you blew it.
And I love Martin Mull's delivery on that last line. Yeah. Too bad you blew it. Because he kind of looks off, and then he just kind of just lands that line, and it's just like, damn.
Yep. His deadpan face.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So Miss Musso's stunned, of course. And Tompkins says he needs someone that is not afraid to get down and dirty in the corporate world. But seeing how she handled those two hoodlums, he's not sure she's the right fit. As a consolation, he gives her a calendar. And she's just very appalled. A fucking calendar?
It's rightly so.
Yeah. And Tompkins says he's very sorry about everything. And he gives her a pin. Then he adds, you see, that's what I mean about a touch of compassion. So evidently, that little bit of compassion she had was way too much for him.
Yeah.
He's just a ruthless bastard. So little does he know Musso was the perfect fit for his company. He lost out. He missed out. So an alarm goes off on his watch, and he tells her that he's got to go pick a winner. And I love this. He does so by covering his eyes and randomly pointing to a name on a giant list.
He's the worst.
Yes.
This guy sucks.
And it turns out it's Kubiak that wins, actually.
Yeah.
And so we cut to Kubiak, who's playing with a chainsaw for God knows why. Who knows why. And he's shocked at the announcement. He just replies, eat now. We see a quick vignette of Mikey talking with his mom. They've patched things up, of course. And as we crane up to a wide shot of the gymnasium, Parker tells us in VO, it's strange. You go through high school, and the only time you deal with your mom and dad is when they come down on you or tell you to be home early. But every now and then, when you don't expect it, they do the right thing, and you're glad you got them. I tell you, though, it's no picnic raising a parent.
Jesus. Such a teenager thing to say, that whole thing. They're always coming down on you. Occasionally it's nice when they're around.
So our end gag reprisal, we see Mikey asleep on the couch from earlier. Same couch, same.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody's in the same fucking house.
Yeah, that was my note. I was like, so this was Mikey's house the whole time. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody's over there to fuck.
Well, I mean, his dad's MIA. His mom's always working. Yeah. I mean, that's the makeout house, I guess.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Parents aren't there because you don't need them then.
Exactly.
Everybody go to Mikey's house, take turns boning on the couch that he sleeps on.
Yes.
With no covers.
Yes.
It's just the same upholstery.
Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, so Mikey's asleep on the couch, and his mom comes in and pulls a blanket over him and turns out the light. Oh, God.
Turn out that light quick. Don't turn on a black light.
Yes, exactly. Do not do that.
Dear God, Mikey, what's going on here?
Oh, God. This show. I love this show.
got to say for yourselves.
Not one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, there was a lot happening, you know. It probably could have been a little tighter, you know. It was an interesting season opener.
That might be partly what's coloring my opinion of this show, this episode too, is because I felt like there should be something more grandiose, I guess, for a season kickoff. Like the first day of school, which again, who knows? It's been so long since I've watched season 2. Maybe that's going to come up in a few episodes, and they shuffled episodes because we're going by air date, right? So who knows, man? That shit happens all the time, and shit gets aired out of order. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they introduced Mike. They introduced everybody's parents, a lot of different parents. They brought the new Mrs. Lewis on here and got her some time on screen more than she probably had more lines than the previous Mrs. Lewis had the entire first season.
This is true.
They introduced the diner. What else? I don't think the kid comes back.
I doubt it.
Paulie, but they didn't stuff it with too many new characters or anything like that. But I will say one thing I noticed that I made a note of about 5 or 6 times is Parker's shirts are not. They're Parker shirts, but these look like they have more Coronemic influence on them because they are all fucking graffitied shirts. You know, every single pattern there's a graffiti pattern, which was cool to see. You know,
a
little bit different than the first season, but
it is a bit of a punch up from the previous season as far as his wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I think the hair has reached its apex.
yeah, it has.
It is Gumby to the max, right? And again, it's because we know that in season 3 it falls flat again. That goes away. But I think we're in peak Parker hair days right now. Yeah,
I'm not ever really like maybe my least. I don't want to say my least favorite because I still like all of them, but the ones I get the least excited about are the ones with Mikey Parker conflict like this. Where it's Mikey's home life is a whatever. It's just.
Yeah, it just doesn't land and I don't know what it is. It's I don't know if it's for me, I think maybe it's a bias against that image of Mikey because Mikey's the cool guy, right? He's the leather jacket, the rock and roll dude, the rebel, right? And anytime to have them more in a bit of a, I don't want to say whiny role, but where it's just a little more like this, and it just doesn't work for me, and no slight to Billy Jane at all. I just don't know if the Mikey character was really the vehicle for those type of stories. I don't, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's something else that I can't put my finger on. I don't know.
So notes for a show that was on 30 years ago. Here's our thoughts going
from
forward.
2 fucking experts.
Yeah.
What the fuck do we know?
Yeah. We guarantee you one thing on this show, we will undermine ourselves immediately at the end.
Yes.
We'll say a bunch of shit and then be like, yeah, but what the fuck do we know? Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm walking over here.
I'm walking.
On the next Synchronize Swatches. Up next is Season 2, Episode 2, A Walk on the Dark Side. All right, so here's the IMDb synopsis. Constantly finding herself in her brother's shadow, Shelley finds a new identity. The Darksiders are a group of kids that don't fit the regular high schooler mold as they dress darkly, wreak havoc, and are very mysterious in nature. The Darksiders are essentially everything Parker is not, so they're very appealing to Shelley. As much as Parker likes distancing himself from his sister, the prospect of Shelley becoming a Darksider could be disastrous, as she could very well get in over her head. Parker must decide to intervene to save his sister from possible self-destruction. Very dramatic.
You've been listening to Synchronize Swatches, your twice-monthly dose of coolness.
But wait! If listening isn't enough for you and you'd like to see our ugly mugs, not a problem.
Head on over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel at Synchronize Swatches. There you'll find full video of the show, and if we ever find any playlists of the actual show that you can follow along with, we'll let you know.
So we're also on Instagram and TikTok. For a while, at least. I'm not sure about this TikTok.
For the time being.
Yeah. Just search for our handle at SwatchesPod and smash that follow button. We welcome your comments, questions, critiques, any form of correspondence over at our email address, swatchespod@gmail.com.
Please send us your 5-star ratings and positive reviews wherever you listen to the show, whether it be Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, Podkicker, or any of those good old podcast apps.
I've actually seen a couple of 5-star ratings on a couple of those, so I mean, somebody, probably
what,
people
for
we
us?
know, or yeah, yeah,
for us.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of 5-star ratings for others, so I know it can happen.
Anyways, it really makes a difference in getting.
That would be funny. I see a lot of 5-star ratings, so
hint, hint.
I'm just saying.
Anyway. But yeah, but really, people, it makes a difference in getting the word out about what we're doing here, because it's something good.
Yeah, something good and valuable and worth your time.
Yes.
Our theme music was written and produced by My Sinister Hand.
The show is recorded on the west and east coast of the United States. It is written by the hosts with editing and post-production by Chip Johnson. Chris Gregory manages our social media empire. Special thanks to Paul Coates for the German title reads and translations.
Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, I'm Chris Gregory.
And I'm Chip Johnson.
Reminding you to go outside and touch grass.
My friend Jerry said you guys were going to do something really neat today.
Always yelling at you or coming on to you.